Everyone was really interested in Chelsea Clinton's son, Jasper, from the moment he was born. He comes from one of the most famous political families in the U.S. As a child, his life was always interesting because his grandmother made a big difference in modern U.S. history, and his mother was used to being in the news. Today, we're going to look at the amazing journey of Chelsea Clinton's child. Your mind will be blown by how this amazing child turned into an amazing young man. A lot of kids from famous or powerful families are always in the news, but Jasper has mostly grown up out of the public eye. How is his life now? Let's learn more about the son of Chelsea Clinton. Chelsea Clinton and her husband, Mark Mezvinsky, told the world in 2016 that their second child, Aiden, had been born. Chelsea Clinton and her husband, Mark Mezvinsky's first child, Charlotte, became a big sister at the. This movie shows and tells stories about how he has changed and grown over the years. There are pictures of his relaxed, happy childhood next to more recent pictures of him as a young man with a sure smile and a serious look that show what he's been through in life. Each picture tells a story of a life full of happiness, hardship, success, and family support. We'll go into more detail about the events that have shaped him, from fun family get-togethers to quiet times that show his thoughtful side. His journey is more than just changes to his body. It shows how he has grown as a person and how strong he is because he was raised in a loving home. Close family and friends will share their thoughts on how he has changed over the years, from a little bundle of joy to the sure of himself person he is now. It has been an amazing journey for him. As a child, his smile lit up every room and made everyone who met him smile. He had a quiet spark that made you know he was different, and it was clear that he would have a great future. His family, who are known for being kind and having strong morals, loved and supported him, which made him shine even more. Chelsea Clinton told everyone in December that she was pregnant just a few weeks before the primary season began. Chelsea, who was 36 at the time, was busy working for her mother, Hillary Clinton. Clinton shared Chelsea's birth news on social media again. As the expected Democratic presidential candidate, Hillary Clinton was likely asked a lot of questions in the coming weeks about how hard it is for her to balance being a grandmother of two with being president. Hillary Clinton and former President Bill Clinton said in a joint statement that they were thrilled to be grandparents again after Aiden was born. Former first daughter of the United States left a New York City hospital just 2 days after giving birth to Aiden. Her family was there to greet her and tell her how happy they were about the new baby. Outside, cameras caught Mark Mezvinsky, the happy dad, putting his right hand over his heart while Chelsea held their baby. At the same time, Hillary and Bill Clinton, the couple's grandparents, were beaming with happiness as they stood next to them. "This is such a joy to be with our new grandson, Aiden. I am so thankful," Grandma wrote on Twitter that weekend. "Aiden has made two dads very happy this Father's Day," Bill said. For Mark and Chelsea, some pop culture fans were immediately taken back to the time when Kate Middleton and Prince William had their children when they saw the recent family picture. People really like more than just Aiden. It all started when her oldest daughter, Charlotte, was born. On Friday, September 26, 2014, in New York City, the former first daughter and global campaigner gave birth to Charlotte. She was married to Mark Mezvinsky. Because her parents were ready to help, Chelsea quit her job as a special reporter for NBC News and kept a busy schedule at the Clinton Global Initiative until Charlotte was born. So busy and far along in her pregnancy that President Obama joked during his CGI speech, "If Chelsea starts labor while I'm speaking, she has my motorcade and will be able to get through traffic." People magazine reports that Clinton spoke at the American Library Association conference in Boston about her experiences as a new mother and her famous mother's campaign for president. Clinton said she had been trying to make sense of the new member of the Clinton family to her daughter, Charlotte, but she doesn't think Charlotte fully gets it yet. Clinton talked about how reading is important to her family at a meeting for the American Library Association. She also promised to pass this love of reading on to her daughter. Chelsea taught her daughter Charlotte to love Taylor Swift, one of many things she loves. and went to one of Taylor's shows together in 2023. Later that day, Chelsea tweeted to thank Taylor for a show she would never forget. She told the cruel summer singer how much she appreciated a great night and shared some great pictures from the show. Chelsea put up 2 pictures of Taylor on stage. One was taken early in the show and shows the pop star in a rainbow-colored leotard that she wore to start the show. The second picture was taken during the Speak Now part of the set, which included the songs Enchanted and Long Live. This happened at the same time that Taylor's version of that record came out again. Chelsea shared a picture of her arms that showed off the many bands she got from other Taylor fans during the show. Charlotte looks like she's becoming more like Chelsea, but her boys don't seem to think that. I bet you can't guess how her youngest child, Jasper, is today. Chelsea Clinton told everyone that her baby boy was born in July 2019. This morning we welcomed our son, Jasper Clinton Mezvinsky, she tweeted. We are overflowing with love and gratitude and can't wait to introduce him to his big sister and brother. Clinton now has 5 children, her husband, Mark Mezvinsky, their 4-year-old daughter, Charlotte, and their 3-year-old son, Aiden. In the past, she told people about how her family was getting ready for a baby to come. She told people, Charlotte is so excited to be a big sister again. Hey! I think Aiden is mostly excited because his sister is excited. He loves and looks up to his big sister so much. Jasper, who will start elementary school in 2025 at the age of 5, has already won over many hearts with his adorable public appearances, with his mother Chelsea, who works hard to promote public health and help others. Chelsea is kind enough to share bits and pieces of her life as a working mom who juggles her job and her family. She's committed to giving her children a caring and stable childhood, protecting them from the constant attention of the public, even though she comes from one of America's most famous political families. Watching their close-knit family do well is truly encouraging. Chelsea was looked at closely in 2024 after it was revealed that Ghislaine Maxwell, a convicted trafficker, went to Chelsea's wedding in 2010 instead of going to a hearing in a civil case against Jeffrey Epstein, brought by one of his victims, Virginia Giuffre. Maxwell, who is currently in jail for recruiting and grooming minor girls for Epstein, can be seen in the crowd as Bill walks his daughter down the aisle, according to court papers that were recently made public, based on USS. According to news sources, she said at the time that she was busy with family issues in Britain. The paper shows that Maxwell's lawyer told the plaintiff's lawyers at the last minute that Maxwell was leaving the country because her mother was very sick and had no plans to come back. After that, she was seen at Chelsea Clinton's wedding in Rhinebeck, New York, which made people wonder if she really was out of the country and trying to escape being deposed. Over 100 people are named in the newly released court papers related to Epstein. One of them is Chelsea's father, who was the 42nd president of the United States. According to The Independent, the papers also named Prince Andrew of Britain, Donald Trump, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Kevin Spacey, as well as other well-known people. As a result of pictures of Maxwell at Chelsea's wedding going viral online, she is once again in the public eye. Here are some of the things she has been doing lately. Clinton, 43, is said to have been investing in the healthcare industry, even though she has stayed out of the public eye for the most part. Fortune magazine said at the end of last year that Clinton has put money into Summer Health, a telehealth tool for infant care, as well as the company's new project, Everyday Care. She told the magazine, there are many problems that kids, caregivers, and families in our country face. People first thought of Chelsea Clinton as a shy high school girl with curly hair and braces who stayed out of the news while her dad was president in the 1990s. After 20 years, the 36-year-old mom of 2 is now stepping up to bring attention to her mom as their family runs for the White House again. Town and Country says that Chelsea met her husband Mark Mezvinsky in 1993 in South Carolina. They began dating around 2005 and got married in 2010. Mark held jobs at large companies like Goldman Sachs and 3G Capital before he opened his own hedge fund in 2011. His family has been through a lot of trouble, just like Chelsea's parents. After all the charges against Bill were dropped, Mark's dad went to jail for 31 counts of bank fraud in 2001, involving about $10 million. It was said by Politico that Mark's dad asked Bill for a presidential pardon, but it's not clear if that really happened. Chelsea Clinton is the only child of Bill and Hillary Clinton. She has never been as happy in public as her parents are. Still, she loves being her mom's cheerleader and is very active in their family foundation. On top of that, she hasn't counted out the possibility of getting involved in politics herself one day. In a story from last year, Vanity Fair said that Chelsea is changed from the person who tried to fit in as just another Stanford graduate. She's fully accepted being a Clinton and is now on a clear path to success. During her father's second term, Chelsea went to California to go to college at Stanford University. This was around the same time that the world was looking closely at his relationship with Monica Lewinsky, which led to his impeachment. She thought about becoming a doctor, but in the end, she chose to major in history. Stanford is where she and her now husband, Mark Mezvinsky, got back together. They started dating in 2005 and got married in 2010. He knew what it was like to be the child of a leader, but Chelsea had never been through anything like it. Both of his parents were Democrats in Congress. Marjorie Marges was his mother, and she was a representative for Pennsylvania. His father, Edward Mezvinsky, was a representative for Iowa before becoming chair of the Pennsylvania Democratic Party. It's important to note that his mother gave up a lot for Chelsea's father by voting against President Bill Clinton's budget in 1993, which cost her her job the next year after only one term. Following in her father's path, Chelsea Clinton went to the UK to get graduate studies at Oxford University after finishing from Stanford. After that, she went back to New York City and has been living there since, starting a number of different careers. She first worked for 3 years at the consulting company McKinsey & Company. Then she moved to Wall Street and spent another 3 years at a hedge fund. She then went back to school and started getting a Master of Public Health at Columbia University. After that, she worked as a researcher at New York University before going to Columbia to teach graduate class. She also started the process of getting her PhD at Oxford, where she got her degree in international affairs in 2014. She became a special reporter for NBC News in 2011 and is said to have started making $600,000 a year. This was one of the most closely watched and puzzling job choices she made. She did work for NBC Nightly News and the now-defunct Rock Center with Brian Williams. She mostly worked on feature stories and the networks making a different series people didn't like because of her famous last name. In the end, she switched to a month-to-month deal and cut all ties with the network in August 2014 when it became clear that her mother was getting ready for another presidential run. As vice chair of the Clinton Foundation, where she works with her parents on important projects, her most recent big project was with them. She has gone to Africa with her father and worked on projects to improve world health, lower the number of HIV cases, and give women and girls in developing countries more chances. People who know the Clintons said that her work there helped Chelsea understand what kind of impact she needs to keep. Her job as a close assistant to both of her parents, which Politico often calls the invisible hand of Chelsea, has given her knowledge of the foundation and what her father is doing after leaving office. In 2012, Huma Abedin, a top aide to Hillary Clinton, told Vogue, "This is the legacy I'm going to inherit. To say it is an incredible one is something else." She used the skills she gained in the private sector and in finance to help the organization. Fast Company magazine wrote an article about her in April 2014 that talked about how she worked directly with the foundation to improve its infrastructure. My father has always been such a doer. He had never focused on ensuring that we had the functions that not only enabled other doers to focus on doing, but also to help us keep systematic track of all the work that was being done, she told the magazine. There has, of course, been a lot of discussion about how the foundation works and how it gets its money, especially about the foreign donations it took while Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State. Chelsea finally gave her parents the title they'd been wanting for a long time. In September 2014, her daughter Charlotte was born. In June 2015, her boy Aiden was born. It's Your World. Get Informed, Get Inspired, and Get Going was her first book. It was meant to inspire kids to get involved in their neighborhoods and the world as a whole. After trying to walk a fine line between following her own path and taking care of her family duties, she has now once again become the famous political daughter. During both of her mother's presidential campaigns, she has been in a lot of public events with and for Hillary. Because she is so well known, she's being watched more closely and has had to leave the private life she had worked hard to keep. Jack Schaefer, a media critic for Politico, said earlier this year that Chelsea Clinton's easy ride should end because she was too quick to criticize Bernie Sanders' health care plan. Chelsea's best bet as a candidate who is often seen as too rigid, cold, and calculated is to show that her mother is a real person and change people's minds. Wednesday night, Chelsea's dad painted a sweet picture of a mom who cared enough to line Chelsea's college dorm drawers. Like what Ivanka Trump did for her dad last week, you can expect Chelsea to build on that with more personal stories. Her spokesperson said that she has been working on this speech for a few weeks. Chelsea introduced her mother at the 2008 convention, but this time she will probably use what she has learned as a mother to help change the way people see Hillary Clinton in the eyes of people who already know her famous family. One of the most important things to us in this country is that everyone has the same chances. That being equal hasn't yet included gender, though. That's a big problem that I think having our first woman president, whenever that is, will help solve. Last year, Chelsea asked Dell magazine, "Do you think that her work in politics and government has had a big impact on how her children are raised?" It has, for sure, and we'll be watching for any signs as her kids get older.